Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Pipe Wrench. Year after year, East Tennesseans vote Pipe Wrench as the top plumbing and HVAC company in Knoxville. They have more than 60 crews in the area every day to help you exactly when you need them. Family owned and locally owned. Good people to boot. Remember, pipewrench.com. All right. You're looking live at the Chucky C Note Casino, specifically at the beautiful new Race and Sportsbook. And this segment is our Beat the House segment to benefit Alzheimer's Tennessee. We are playing for Alzheimer's Tennessee this year. We got imaginary dollars here, but the Sports Source family is going to be giving a little check at the end of the year to Alzheimer's Tennessee on behalf of the Beat the House segment. Chucky C Note picks the winner and spread every week, and he also gives us an over-under line. The panelists, they each started with 1,000 imaginary dollars, and everybody can wager on either line they choose. Right now, the wagers are $100. That's it, and we can no over that. At the end of September, just to make sure everybody's alive and not dead by October, by the end of September, we'll allow people to bet whatever they want. And as I said, the Sports Source and our family sponsor is going to make a donation to Alzheimer's Tennessee at the end of the year. Let's take a look at the Beat the House standings. Yeah, there's only one more on there. I looked up all the numbers last year, those long, old numbers last year. They didn't over the last 30 games. They didn't help me last week because it sent me in the wrong direction. Bob, Daniel, Jimmy, Josh, Marlon, Sterling, Will, all at $1,100. You see what their bet was last week. A couple of guys bet the over. I took Ball State to cover the 35.5. Imbecile.
That was the halftime line.
Yeah, it was dumb. That's right. That's right. I misread it. All right. So, Chuck Cavaleris, what is the Cavaleris line? You got about a minute and a half.
Boy, I mean, what a great game to try and pick and handicap here. And guys, I was sitting over there a while ago, and Marlon mentioned about get your hands up, get your hands up. How many of us heard Johnny Majors saying, get your hands up, and this is the Johnny Majors Classic too. Let's remember that. So, in looking at this game, I tell you what, I think it could go either way. But Pitt, we were talking about them having an interception. They've had at least one pick six for 5 straight games. You can't let that happen. I've got the Vols by 6.5. And the line's gone from 4.5 to 6.5. The total, you guys said at least 68. I've got it at 68.5. So Vols by 6.5. I'm setting the total at 68.5.
Okay, very good, Chuck. The line I've seen anywhere from 4.5 to the high end of 6.5. He goes with 6.5. Over under 68.5, which I'm surprised he went with that given the reactions in our previous segment. But he's always, I can't figure him out. Obviously, I'm in last place. So we'll start in alphabetical order since everybody's tied except for one moron. Bob Hodge, that means you go first. $100 on what? What line?
Boy, I really think the over.
Bob takes
I
100.
never pick the over in anything.
Okay.
So I'm going the over.
All right, Bob, $100 on the over. Daniel Hood, where are you going?
Taking the over for the first time.
Okay, Daniel, $100 on the over. Jimmy Himes.
Pitt, 6.5.
Ooh, all right, Pitt plus 6.5.
Well, we know what Josh is going to pick.
Josh, are you going to follow him?
It worked last week. The Hall of Famer took me to another $100, but I'll follow the overs.
All right, 100 on the over. Marlon Walls.
All right, let's go 100 on the 6.5.
You think Tennessee will cover?
Tennessee covers 6.
But they're not going to get any sacks.
Yeah.
All right, Sterling.
Hey, Tennessee, baby, to cover. Big time.
$100
With a couple of sacks. You heard.
Will Overstreet.
I'm going to take the under.
Wow, how about that? $100 on the under.
Fading the public, it works.
Okay. Which leaves me, and I'm going to take 100 on the over. 68.5. I think they'll go over. I think these teams are going to score on each other again. We got a couple minutes here, so I wanted to throw this out there. I'm glad I didn't let you throw it out earlier. Saved it for a reason, or we'd be tap dancing right now. Expectations, whether they're rising on this set or not, I think the fan base is giddy after that Ball State win. Obviously, whatever your next game is always big, but considering what's ahead, Florida suddenly looks more challenging than I think a lot of people might have thought. Mm-hmm. Is this the biggest game of Heupel's tenure so far?
Yes.
Yes.
Unequivocally.
It's that easy. It was a dumb question then, so I need something else.
Yeah, that's the reason I
We
wanted
may
to
be
talk
the
about it
only
earlier.
two.
Get it out of the way.
I just think it sets the tone for the direction of this season. If you don't beat Pitt, it makes it harder to beat Florida, it makes it harder to beat some of these other 50-50 teams,
You
in
can
my
cancel
opinion.
this. If you lose, you can cancel it out by beating Florida, though. I think
That's what I was going to go with.
The other way, if you beat Pitt and then lose to Florida, that's more damaging in my view. But I still think right now, I think
the biggest
Florida's going to be the
for
biggest.
Florida.
I think
Yeah.
But
yes.
if
May
you
lose
lose
to
to
both.
Pitt, though,
Yeah.
I think the fan base goes back to not trusting you, right? And
Yes.
and basically saying, I'm not going to get my hopes up again. If you lose to Pitt, that gets dashed. And even if you beat Florida, they're still kind of like, well, I really don't know what to read with this team. They're going to win somebody and lose somebody that I don't believe they could. So I think you have a little bit more trouble with the intensity getting back up there if they lose to
And
Pitt.
if your hopes is to make that top 25, you need to beat a team in the top 25.
If you beat Pitt, then Florida rolls in here for a highly anticipated matchup of two top 25 teams. The nation's going to be watching. Neyland will be packed. Fans are going to be wild. They'll be wild anyway, just because it's Florida.
Big
But I think,
opportunity game.
yeah, but I think Will's right that if you don't beat Pitt, some of that excitement drains away.
And you can set the table by making Florida the biggest game of the Heupel era if you beat this. Now, it might be anyway if you do lose.
Yeah.
But I think if you're looking at the direction a lot of people want this season to go, have a lot of, this is the biggest game. No, this is the biggest game.
Very good. Thanks to all these guys for being here today. Also, this game, Saturday's game, will be right here on Channel 6, WATE 330, Tennessee versus Pittsburgh. Watch Channel 6 all week long for sports coverage. They'll be there as well. Channel 6 got it. We'll see you next Sunday right back here on the Sports Center.